new video. I want to start off in this beautiful in this beautiful scenery, rather than just starting in my apartment or my office again. But we're gonna get there in a few seconds because I do need to show you something on the computer. If you are thinking about how to go about dropshipping, you know everything, you have saved some money, or you're ready to go, how should you go about it? One product store, a general store, more focus on a niche-based store. How should you do everything, and how can you do it in terms of branding? Every question you have about starting, right? So I'm gonna see you in my apartment in just a second.
Hey, what's up guys, and now welcome to my laptop. So, the previous clip, we was out in the nature, and now we're back in my apartment. I'm about to show you this very interesting slide. As you can see on the far left over here, we have 3 slides in total to go through because that's the main 3 ways to do dropshipping. So, we're going to talk about how you can start dropshipping. I'm not going to make this video too long, but it is I'm going to try to make it as value-packed as I possibly can, so you actually leave this video where you have learned something and you can move on to implementing that to your hopefully new start to dropshipping, and now you kind of like know where route to go. Because if you're sitting out there right now where you're actually ready to take action, you're ready to take a step, but you're still in the case where I'm ready, but if I can do something that's better than what I'm about to do, then I want to do that. You don't want to waste any unnecessary money or unnecessary time. And I had this question myself: shall I start, for example, a general store, one product store, niche store, whatever? What shall I start? What is the fastest way for me to build something legitimate up? So I'm going to talk about the 3 ways, which is one product store, a niche-based store, and a general store. And if I was you, I'm going to stick to the end when it comes to the general store because I have a very slightly different take on that and why that's actually my favorite route to go, even though I do a lot of one product stores as well. So let's just jump straight into it. So the first way is probably a one product store. You've heard this a bunch of times. Do one product store. That's the way to go about it. And I agree and disagree. So I've made up pros and cons. So the first pros we have is branding. You can brand a one product store way more. So let's say, for example, you're selling a watch, right? You're selling this specific watch that I have. That's a Tissot watch, right? You're selling this one. If I go ahead and I make one store that's all about this product, obviously I can brand it way more because everything I do, whether it's the name of the store, the logo, which is pretty much the same, each and every single text I have in there, each and every single font, color that have something to do with this specific color. I can do everything around this one product because I don't have 10 other products. So you can brand it that much more, which actually leads to the next one, which is uniqueness. It creates some form of uniqueness. This is the only place you can get this watch. That's kind of like the sense that you want to get through the video. Not the video, sorry, the store, that this is where to buy it if you want this watch. And that leads on to trust. It just gives you more trust. When the customer is on my page now, looking for a form of a nice, simple watch, and then they find this one, they can see everything around the email, to the name, to the color on the website. Everything is around this specific one product. Well, that must mean that is a very reliable source to buy it from because that's all they spend their time on. This is the way to go. So it creates some form of trust, and also because that's the only thing that's on the website, it creates some form of uniqueness. And that way you can also scale it very hard because nothing else for them is going to be super simple. Again, this is one thing I keep telling my clients. By the way, if you want to work with me, go down below, hit me up, and I will gladly see what we can do to work with, so you can work with my team. But one thing I always tell you is that as dropshippers, we promote on social media, which means Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat if you go on that route. But mainly I do Facebook and Instagram. So we are marketing to people who are on the move, who are on there to watch videos, to watch what their friends are doing, to watch memes, to follow up news, whatever they do. They're not there to per se purchase. If they go to Amazon.com, you've already made the kind of like decision in the back of your head that, okay, I might spend between 15 and 50 bucks here. I might do because I know that's the only sole purpose that is about Amazon. Now, when they go to Facebook, that's not their purpose. So what we want is, number one, be able to market for them, but also that when they then click on our ad and go to our store, we want the process and the experience to be as simple and easy as it possibly can be, because they already feel like you're taking away their time. They already feel like they are wasting the time. That's just how people think. And now they're on there, so when I get something out of it. So that's what you want to capitalize on. But at the same time, we want it to be simple, because the first thing, if they get in, they get a lot of pop-ups in their head, get a lot of upsells already for some reason. There's just 1,000 things, there's 1,000 products on this store, and it's not really set up probably, which I'm going to talk to about how you can do that with the general store. They're probably going to leave. It's too much for them to handle. They are on the move. They're on the bus. They're in the couch relaxing after work. It's their lunch break at work. Like it needs to be simple, where they're like, you know what? I've been on here for a couple of minutes. Why not buy? You know. And that also leads up to the thing about the offer, that you want an offer that is just too good to say no to. You want them to feel like they're ripping you off, right? So that's what a Run Product Store gives you. Like, it's just simple, and that's the way we want to go. So there are also some cons about this. It is more time consuming. And what do I mean by that? Not setting up the specific store, because it's actually easier. It's only one product. But just in general, because let's say I pick this product, I want to go ahead with it, but it doesn't really work out the way I want to. I've given it 1,000 chances on Facebook, promoting everything like that, but for me, it just doesn't work. That's just how it is with most products. So now I want to lead on. I still want to try to sell a watch. So now I'm going to try to sell this watch here. But here's the thing. This one doesn't really work out either way. But now I've created 2 stores. I've bought 2 domains, which leads to the other con is more domain purchases. And I know that's a small thing, but still, it's $10 each time. And if you're on a budget and you really want to try to utilize the money to the best way you can, you don't want to spend $10 like 5-10 times. You really don't want to. Now, the other aspect around is that I don't want you guys to think like, when it comes to time consuming, that you're just going to do exactly what's necessary for you. That's just how it's not going to succeed that way. You need to put in the time. It is a business. You need to really put in a lot of time and don't expect anything to get out of it. That's the mindset you have to have. But while we're in it, we might as well try to utilize our time to the best of our capabilities, right? So it is just a little bit more time consuming if you have to set up 5 websites. And I know for a lot of you guys, you either have full-time school or full-time work. So that can be a lot of mental space that you have to create to do it over again. Where it might be easier to just have one store where they can test 5 different products than building 5 different stores. So that's what I'm trying to get across here. And yeah, but the only thing, the last thing here is it's more reliant on only one product again. So if one of these products doesn't really work out, that's why you have to move on and do something. Whereas if you have a general store or maybe a niche store, you can pick another product from that niche or just a whole totally other product and move on. So we are more reliant on this product to go. And let's just say this one here goes fucking great. You're making $1,000 of revenue a day, which is absolutely awesome. But then it starts going down. Now you can't really fall back on anything because this is the only thing you got now. If you got an upsell or something like that, but you have to transition into doing something else and suddenly, right? You have no backup plan. Unless you do a one product store and then you have a general store by the side where you test products. That's the way I will go, but I'm going to get to that in a bit. But without spending too much time on this one product store, I just want to spend a little bit of time on it actually, because I know it's something that most of you guys have heard. And it is an absolutely amazing way to do it. I do it myself. Just be on the lookout for one of these things here. So when it comes to, last thing I want to say when it comes to one product store is, if you are going to do one product store, put the time and effort into it, right? I don't think there's such thing as a saturated product. Obviously there is the fidget spinner and stuff like that, but a product that actually serves for a need that solves a problem, I don't believe it can be saturated, because if it can solve a problem, there will always be somebody out there with a problem, so it will be helpful. What is saturated though is the video content and then the offer. That's about it. So if you really want to do a one product store, go at it, man. Like, people are making 6 figures on damn lotion, right? It's not as much as it is around the product. It's still not. If you can focus on branding, right? Create something different ad copies, different videos, and then just have customer care and customer service at top, you can go with it, and that's what you want to focus on with a one product store. Second thing is a niche-based store. So exactly as you can imagine, it's simply you can sell 1,000 products. It's just within the same niche. And to take again the watches as an example, this is like the watch niche. So I could sell both of these products on that same store instead of having 2 separate stores, right? To give you an example, so this would be a niche-based store. So the pros around that is definitely you can build an overall brand. Like, that's what most stores out there are niche-based stores, right? Go to KylieJenner.com or KylieCosmetics.com, I believe it's called. That's makeup, right? That's a niche. Nike.com, that's training, that's shoes, that's training gear, that's a niche. So most stores out there, or most, not stores, most big companies and brands are niche related. So for me personally, that's something I'm always having the goal in my head to build up to. Now, funny enough, as for me, the niche-based stores are the holy grail. That's where we want to get to. That's where we really can build an overall brand, and therefore also have some more value and selling potential, as I have right here in terms of that. If you build up a good store and a good business around one niche, you can really sell that for something, right? If you have one product store, it can be a bit more tough because again, everything is relying on that one product. But if you build a customer base, you build just an overall like business and brand around this niche, there's so many products you can test, right? And you have now there, and a lot of customers can buy different products, not just one. When one customer bought one product at your one product store, that's about it, right? They're probably not going to come back unless it's something that they can keep using or they can buy to other people. Here with niche-based stores, there's a bunch of products, and again, that's the second thing here. Oh shoot, there's more products to sell and upsell. It's just what the fact of the matter is. You have way more products to sell. Oh, sorry. These ones are 2 products. I can have 100 different watches I can sell and I can upsell. What I can also do is that actually, this is now a video about watches, okay? What you now can do is that because it's a niche-based store, you can upsell a lot of other different products because they can be within the same niche. It doesn't have to be the exact same product. So you have these products on your watch-based store, niche-based store, right? Now, when somebody going into purchase for this, or maybe they're purchasing 2 watches, well, now you can upsell this motherfucker, which is a watch box, right? You can have it in here. That could be an absolutely amazing product to upsell. That's the things that you now can do with a niche-based store. So obviously there's cons with everything. Sorry about that, that's my speaker that turned off. There's cons with everything. What I've written so far with the main con here is that can capitalize on other awesome products outside the niche. So let's say you're now finding this, right? You found this alligator cover. That's actually a magnet within this, or this is actually an awesome cover. You found this right now, is popping off, and you just really want to sell this one. You can't do it on that specific store. But again, that's the least of your problems. You can always create another store, either a one product store or a general store, and that's what I'm going to come to. So, as you can hear right now, I'm definitely most fond of a niche-based store just for future value and just for building a brand. I will definitely go with that one. But funny enough, what we're going to go to now is what I will recommend. Even though I love niche-based store more, I will recommend the thing I'm about to say here next, which is general stores. And I have a very interesting take on it, I would say. Again, before we're going to move there, if you like this video, if you find this helpful in any way, please hit the like button. This is something I hate asking about, but at the end of the day, the fact is that this will help my channel out a bit. I'm a small channel, but I'm trying to give the most value that I can possibly give. And I believe a video like this provides a lot of value. If you want to subscribe as well, that would mean the world to me. I will promise you I will keep making videos for it. I'm going to make 2 to 3 videos each and every single week. I did that last week. I'm going to do it again this week. So the last thing, which is a general store, and as right, my personal favorite. Okay, so the general store, you can use that for all of the above. Now, before I'm going to go into this, the general store was very, very popular a few years ago, around 2018, 2017, 16 as well. It was very popular because that was the main thing to do, and dropshipping have evolved massively since then. Back then, you can just sell anything pretty much, have it on a shitty general store and sell anything. You can't do that now, which is why general store have gotten a bad rep. So back then, a general store was a general store. It didn't look good. Where today a general store looks way, way better, and that is why people are getting a misconception of it. It still works absolutely amazing. For me, one of my biggest stores is still a general store. How I like to use a general store is that I'm going to go into that. But the first pro is you can test every product niche, every product you can imagine. Watch, pen, phone, controller, water bottle, fun cup. Every little thing you can test because it is a general store. So that's leaves you for amazing results if you know how to do it, okay? And that leads on to it's way faster to find random products. It just is. I can test 10 different products in a day, whereas with the one product store, I have to set up 10 different stores, buy domains worth of $100, create a new or create a new campaign for each. Well, I'm going to do that anyway, but I'm going to create a new Instagram, create a new Facebook. You're going to do that with one product stores. With the general store, everything is under the same roof. It's so easy to do. And as I've written below, you can test a bunch of different sales methods. So free per shipping, high ticket items, where you can put an upselling up for it, etc., etc., etc. Now, obviously, if you have one product store, you can pick a product where you can do a free plus shipping, and then you can pick another store where you do another product where you can do high ticket, and the same you can do with niche based stores. So this also, but it's not the same when it comes to one product store, because you have to set up a new. Because with each product, something like this, you can't do free plus shipping; it's too expensive. So this would be, for example, a higher ticket item. So on the one product store, that's the only thing I can go about, unless I want to create a new store about a new product and do a free plus shipping. Now with niche-based stores, this relies more to that. You can test a lot of different products within the same niche, so you can do this. But especially when it comes to general stores, you can test a shitload of different sales methods, because you just can sell all kind of products in all shapes and sizes. So that's what I like to test around and play around with. So the biggest pro I can say that it comes to general store, it's utilizing it, right? Yes, your engagement rate, your conversion rate, your brand, your trustworthy, especially just again your conversion rate, it's not going to be as high on a general store as it is going to be a niche-based store on a one product store. It's just not. Because on a one product store, everything is around that, the trust is there, the branding is around that. Is the only thing you can get here. Niche-based store is exactly the same thing, just you have more products, but it's still within the same niche. So the trustworthiness is going to be there, conversion rate then is going to be high. With a general store, you have like 10 different products that have nothing to do with each other, so the conversion rate can be lower, because then they want to go to another page where they feel like there's more trust, because that's the only thing they focus about, and then they're going to purchase there. So that's probably the only thing you're going to run into. But having said all that, a general store, utilize it. It is absolutely amazing to find what works. If I go out there and test all these things, water bottle, pen, phone, watch, and I figure out the watch is the one that just fucking works for me. I'm making 1,000 a day. The other ones I'm breaking even with, or just making a couple of bucks, or unprofitable with. So now I know this is working. So I'm going to keep scaling this on a general store. At the same time, I'm going to create a one product store or niche-based stores, depending on what I really feel like. If I can see, yo man, I can. Well, you can also upsell this on a one product store, but it's easy on a niche store. But if I feel like, you know what, I'm going to run with this, I'm either going to create a one product store or niche store, and then run it there as well. So use general store as just testing a bunch of stuff, and then moving it out there, creating different brands for the products that works. That is the best way you can go about it. Now, one thing I'm going to go by real quick before I go to the cons of it is that what I've just talked about here a couple of minutes ago, why general stores to this day, today, is 10 times better than it were 2, 3, 4 years ago. Because 2, 3, 4 years ago, it was just actually a general store, just a bunch of crap, not really branded. You can still brand a general store today. Because even though it's a general store, you 99% of the time are only going to test one product at a time. So while I'm doing that, I can specialize the store around the one product. So it's like a one product general store, if that makes sense. So what I'm simply going to do, even though I maybe have 10 other products on my general store, I'm not going to make that visible to the visitor, right? I'm not going to have that up in my menu bar. I'm not going to have them available to go to on the home page. I'm going to make my general store look like the one product store. And then the only thing that's not a one product store, or where it doesn't have exactly correlation with the product, is the name of the business and my email. That's pretty much it, right? So that's the way I would go about it. That way you can keep testing products under the same roof, and you can still brand it nearly as much as you can with the one product store. Not nearly as much, but you can get very, very close. But that leads me on to the cons. The first one is, as I've just talked about, even though you can brand it a lot, you are going to have a lack of branding because the name is general, right? And have nothing to do specifically with the product, and that can leave a lot of trust, and that can make lack of branding. Now, you can obviously still brand a general store a lot. It's just harder when you don't have one sole purpose, that you're just selling a bunch of different purposes and products. But you can still brand it a lot. Like, just make it the fun place to purchase, right? You see how Wish is doing these days. It's insane. But it also, as I said, leads a lack of trust if not done right, right? The same as below. Can seem scammy if not done right. So if you just do a typical general store as you did 2, 3, 4 years ago, yes, you will pretty much have no trust. You will pretty much seem scammy. If you build everything around having just an awesome brand and don't make it seem general, but it is general, you can still generate trust, branding, and not seem scammy at all. And if you have the great customer service, which is, trust me, branding is not just about getting a logo on a package, because you're not going to get that in the beginning. Branding is just much about the customer service. That's where you are going to do most of the branding in the first place. The first thing you have to do with branding is the logo, the colors, the fonts, setting the store up simple and nicely so there's not a lot of bullshit on there. The second thing is the customer service and the customer care. That's how they're going to remember you. So if you keep that on a 100% level, great ass customer service, you are going to be kind of good. You're going to have that trust, you're going to have that brand on a general store. So guys, if I can finish it off here, the absolute best thing I can say is that go about what I would do with you if I want to utilize the money I have and try to waste as little as I possibly can with the money I now have and my time. Create a general store, test products, whatever product that works. Now keep scaling on that general store, but at the same time build another store around that product. If that's a one product store, a niche based store, that's fully up to you. Depends on what potential you see in that product, and then try to scale it there. That is my plan if I was you. That's how I came out of the shadows and I grew, and that's how my dropshipping business actually really started. And that's how I come into building big brands, because I find what products and niches that works. For example, watch niche and this specific product. I create a niche-based store, and now I start selling watches because I've seen that been working, and now I have a sense of how I can promote it. That's what I would do. So guys, if you find this video just any helpful, the first thing I want to ask you is not like, it's not subscribe, but it actually is to go out there and use it. This would mean nothing for me if you didn't use it into your own dropshipping business. So please go out there and use it. And the second, if you like this video, leave a like and leave a subscribe. That will mean a lot to me. I'm going to create more videos like this because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to get you more undercover of my own businesses, what I'm about to do this year, getting an office hopefully, or moving into a new place where we have a bigger office within the apartment. Whatever we're going to do, I want to show you more personal life, but I also want to show you more business side of it. So I think that's it for this, guys. I hope you liked the video. Like it, please subscribe, be safe out there, and be great.
Baby, I ain't heartless. I just learned to use my heartless. Baby, I ain't heartless. I just learned to use my heartless.